We are ever reminded that the sports that we all love so much are just games. A young man tonight is fighting for his life in Cincinnati, and we're going to talk about that on the other side of the intro on this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football.
This is for Cameron.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you've landed yourself once again here at Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This is obviously going to be a more sober episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. I've got my good friend Couz and Buffalo Bills super fan. Unfortunately, tonight we've had a rough thing happen. Former Pitt Panther and turned Buffalo Bills safety, second-year player, carved himself out a nice role with this defense. While tackling T. Higgins tonight, suddenly collapsed. We can only speculate as to what happened, but 10 minutes of CPR go by. Couz, let me let me get your reaction to this entire situation. I know you're a Bills fan, and this is a big game, but all that goes on the back burner for this kid in his life.
Yeah, I flipped over after watching the West Virginia basketball game and turned right over to because I knew the Bills were playing tonight. And if I'm not mistaken, they could clinch the AFC East with a win or something like that. But anyway, and the first thing I see is the team's running off the field. And I'm like, what the heck happened? So I get on social media, or actually I start messaging some friends and you and other people what's going on. And, of course, some people sent me some videos, and I found out what happened. And, of course, I kept the broadcast on, found out about this young man going down, watched the video multiple times. Obviously, I'm as a type of person that likes to know details, I'm trying to decipher it, trying to figure out what could have happened. Was it a head hit? Was it, whatever? Not that it matters, but you still, we like to know these things.
Yeah.
And just couldn't believe it, man. And then as I'm sitting there watching the footage of it, hearing the broadcasters struggle to even get words out, you can tell they do not want to be doing this. They don't want to be talking about this. I get choked up myself as I'm watching it, thinking about this young man's family, thinking about the fact he's only 24 years old, thinking about the fact he's out there playing the game he loves, and something simple as making a tackle, man, and he just, collapses. And I'm thinking about my own kids. I've got kids that are only a few years younger than him. All these things start going through my mind, and then you realize, then all of a sudden, but of all the things going through my mind, none of it had to do with the football game, the game no longer mattered anymore. I just hope this young man is okay. Prayers going out to him. Prayers going, for a recovery. Hopefully he survives this. And then also with his family, his parents, siblings, friends, teammates, even his Bills teammates, they form a really close bond with each other out there. So prayers going out to all of them, man. Everybody involved, all the Bills Mafia, everybody. The Bengals players too. Let's not forget about the Bengals players, because
Right.
That's a fraternity out there. Even though they play on different teams, there's still a brotherhood and a fraternity of each other. And, to see that and be part of that has got to be devastating to them as well. So I don't want to forget about the Bengals players and coaches either.
And, I'll take it from the West Virginia side of things. Obviously, Pitt and West Virginia don't have a whole lot of reasons to agree on much of anything. I'd like to take this time to stand with you, Pitt faithful, for a kid that played for the Panthers, and stand beside you guys, however you pray or whatever positive thoughts or affirmations, however you are in your personal life. That's what we do with you tonight. Really feel awful about this situation. The first thing that came to my mind was Hank Gathers.
Yeah.
In that awful situation. That was the first thing that came to mind. It was so similar. Got back up and fell. Just makes me sick. I called a friend of mine, to ask him about how to, because, you get the calling around like, oh my God, did you see this? And all he cared about was whether or not he was going to get his money back from the sports betting company. It just lets me know, people else, not everybody out there as empathetic as I am about these things. I guess I don't know. At the end of the day, it's about Demar Hamlin, and really
Yeah,
just wanted to get a quick video out and say that we stand with Demar and his family and all Pitt, Cincinnati, and Buffalo fans and all football lovers in general. It's a tough
absolutely.
situation. So
NFL family. But yeah, my heart breaks for him, man. Like I said, I even choked up myself watching it. Just he is in. For those of you who don't know, he is in critical. They did give an update a few minutes ago. He is in critical condition as of the recording of this video. Anyway, he was in critical condition at the Cincinnati Hospital and the University of Cincinnati Hospital, I guess. And they were just monitoring. That's really the only thing they could tell us was that. As far as the game goes, obviously the game was canceled or postponed, which was the right decision. To me, it took them too long to make the decision. They should have made it immediately, or at least once they took him out there in an ambulance, it should have been a no-brainer at that point, in my opinion.
So much red tape for it to have gone through is what they were talking about. Too much red tape.
Absolutely.
Somebody just needs to make a call. But apparently, what had to happen, I guess the coaches from each side gauged the team. Somebody high up from the league called them, and they spoke about, hey, our guy, because there was no way. Maybe the Bengals could have continued to play, but I don't even know that. I'm sure he probably has teammates on the Bengals side, Tyler Boyd, somebody, they for sure know each other. So, to ask these guys to play, these men to play with somebody, you could see how shook up everybody was. There's no way you could ask them to do that. So,
Right. I agree with that.
All right, guys. We thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This episode is over, and we are out.
This is for Cameron. Thank you.